Welcome to 24 hours of well-being for yourself and for your patients. My name is Jerry Frentsos. I'm an author, educator, and athlete. I'm the author of Intentionally Well, Maximize the Economy of Your Health. Educator, I'm a master's in education and nutritional sciences and biochemistry, and an athlete. I have set 21 Masters World Records over 4 decades. So typically your day. Most people will, in the morning, they will wake up. Some people will exercise, some people will not. Some people will eat breakfast, some don't. Your work hours in the morning are going to be 9 to 12, and you're going to have some admin time, patient time, more admin time. And then in the afternoon, you're going to eat lunch or you don't. You're going to recharge or you don't. And you're going to have more work hours, 12 to 5, admin time, patient time, and so forth. Then in the evening, you will go home or you don't. You exercise or you don't. You eat dinner, watch TV. You may do a little bit more work at home. You may stay up late or you don't. You may fall asleep easily or you don't. You may stay asleep or you don't. So human AI, your body has already figured it out. It's waiting for you to catch up or you don't. So when you don't know who is waiting behind that door for your next patient. You don't know what they're going through, how they're feeling. So when you open the door and present yourself, what state of mind are you going to be in? What's your health? What's your well-being? They will see it, they will know it, they will pick up on it. So human AI is just simply attention and intention. So when you're interacting with your patients, you want to give them your full attention with your full intention of helping them because they are counting on you. So the human AI, there's really a couple of steps. There's 2 steps. Step 1 is pay attention. There's simply a natural relay of flow of 4 hormones that efficiently get you through your day. And those hormones are cortisol, serotonin, melatonin, and human growth hormone. Your 24 hours simply starts, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as the attention intention, this hormonal relay, it's everything that you do through the day technically starts at 12 p.m. at lunch. Most people will think the day starts when you wake up, but I'm going to do the presentation through the eyes of your day starts at 12. So lunch sets everything. But we're going to back up a little bit and then we're going to catch up. So in the morning between about 6:30 and 7:30, you have what's called a cortisol awakening response, CAR. So in that time frame from when you wake up, 30 to 45 minutes later, your body will release 50% of all your natural cortisol for the day. So a lot of people want to throw cortisol under the bus and say that it is a stress hormone, but it's not. It's a very vital hormone to get you through the morning. And that's usually once that 6:30 to 7:30 window goes by. So somewhere between 7 and 12, your body's going to naturally release the cortisol that it wants to release. So why is cortisol so important? It is responsible for fluid balance, immunity, metabolism, energy use, cardiovascular function, and inflammation response. But it's more important as far as a cognitive process and memory recall. So when you're working with your patients, cognitive process and memory recall is vital. So this cognitive intelligence helps with problem solving, logistical reasoning, difficult procedures, speed of thought, technical solutions, effective research development, proper learning. This is the time from 7:30 to 12:30 is when you want to get the job done. This is the hardest. So you want to really put all the hardest parts of your day in the morning if that's possible. So that way you're taking full advantage of cortisol. So at 6:30 to 7:30, you get that 50% release. Then at about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, somewhere in there, 9, you get a 33% release of cortisol. And then again, at about 11 to 11:30, you get that final release of about 17% cortisol, and that's it. Your body wants to release cortisol, but the 100% then gets you through to about lunchtime. Now, here is why your day starts at lunchtime, which I call serotonin lunch. Serotonin lunch is, let's say it's 12:30 to 1. So it's important it determines on what you eat, what you do, and how you think. And the reason why serotonin is so important is that these 3 steps, it makes serotonin, it removes cortisol, and then it protects the serotonin that you just made. Now, if you skip lunch or eat the wrong foods, you actually stop the natural flow of your hormones and you turn off your human AI. And this keeps serotonin levels, they stay low, and this keeps cortisol levels high. And so what happens is that you actually trigger a survival mode. And as far as your patients are concerned, they don't want to see you in survival mode. So survival mode is all or nothing. It's not the best mode to be in. So what happens is that in that survival mode from cortisol 1 o'clock to the rest of, if you allow cortisol to run the rest of your day, starting at about 1 o'clock or so, you're going to have a user error and your cortisol levels are simply going to continue to rise through the day. And that just leads to now, this is where everybody has association with cortisol equals stress. And so that's what we're trying to decrease, is take the stress out of the equation of your 24 hours. So this user error also affects your quality of sleep. You will have poor sleep, and sleep is a skill. And sleep, a lot of people think sleep starts with what you do at dinner time or as you move through the evening. Sleep actually starts at lunchtime. So from 12 p.m. to about 7 p.m., this time frame of the day is run and controlled by serotonin. And again, the serotonin lunch is what you eat, what you do, and how you think. So obviously, the biggest question I get from a lot of people is like, okay, what do you eat? So if you have tryptophan-based foods, tryptophan, as you eat it, it gets digested. The body then converts the tryptophan into serotonin. So that's where your serotonin comes from, is what you eat at lunchtime. So your chicken, your turkey, salmon, spinach, edamame, tofu, beans, eggs, different foods like that is going to help get the tryptophan in the body, so that way the body can convert it to serotonin. Now, there's also an equation to it, is what you do at lunch also determines how your body, now that your body's made the serotonin, how do you protect it and how do you actually increase more serotonin besides of what you eat. So what to do is if you go outside, bright light, especially sun to skin contact, makes vitamin D. It produces the vitamin D hormone. So if you have sun that just simply a small amount of sun, 10 to 15 minutes, anything along those lines, the sun's hitting your face, your neck, your hands, your arms, or your legs, that's enough sun to skin contact for your body to make more serotonin. And then the other part to this is mild exercise. So when I say mild exercise, it's just simply going for a 10 to 15 minute walk. Or when you go, if it's rainy, snow, anything else that's going on weather-wise, if you just take the steps, if you just did maybe up and down the steps 5, 6, 7 times, that's enough exercise. If you had small hand weights, did some curls, presses, arm raises, just something very mild, very gentle. So what you do, go outside, get the bright light from the sun, and then do mild exercises. So when I say exercises, you're not doing a lot of exercises to where you're producing sweat or anything like that. It's just a small brisk walk is good enough. So what happens with serotonin? Serotonin regulates your mood, and it also increases your social behavior. And this is extremely important when you deal with patients in the afternoon. The more serotonin you have, the higher amount of social behavior, the improvement of social behavior goes up. And this also increases your intelligence, your memory, and your sleep. So human AI also is increased from 4 to 6 or 5 to 7. So a lot of people will wake up and they think that they're doing themselves a favor, a benefit by exercising in the morning. But as far as your the hormonal relay that gets you through the day to get the best results from exercise. And this is what serotonin does. Serotonin increases your physical intelligence, which means your heart rate automatically goes up. Your lung capacity automatically goes up. Muscle strength goes up. Body temperature goes up. So if you wake up early in the morning, if you're an early bird, you're going to hit the peak of your physical intelligence somewhere between 4 and 6 p.m. So if you can go through your workday, get to the end of the workday, and then try to get in any type of physical activity again. This is the main workout. You're doing mild workout exercise at lunch, but your main type of exercising should either be 4 to 6. Or if you stay up late and you're what's considered a night owl, your physical peak is going to hit at 5 to 7. So this is technically the best time to do your exercise or to do your workouts. So this is when you get the most result from it, because the serotonin, as you increased it from lunch, increases your heart rate, lung capacity, muscle strength, body temperature. Your body at this time wants to work out. So work out. So human AI, the 100%, what you're targeting is you're trying to increase your physical health, your mental health, emotional health. It also increases or decreases your resting heart rate, improves your gut health, and improves your immune system, and then it starts to set up your sleep. So what you eat, what you do, how you think. How you think is really who you are. So happiness is simply it's an emotional state. That's where you have joy, satisfaction, contentment, fulfillment, positive thoughts, and positive emotions. If you have negative thoughts simply bring in more negative thoughts. These negative thoughts then destroys the serotonin that you worked so hard to develop. And this is also why it's so difficult to get rid of negative thoughts. If you are not doing what you should be doing at lunchtime, then negative thoughts are just going to be a daily occurrence. But once you increase your serotonin levels at lunch, your negative thoughts start to go away. And then you also learn how to protect the serotonin. You're protecting your stress levels, you're protecting your productivity, and again, you're decreasing that user error. So if you bring cortisol and you leave it in your day and it's there from 7:30 to 10 p.m. before you go to bed, that's just a train wreck through the rest of the day. So human AI, step 2, be intentional. You're going to work on your hydration, your nutrition, your thoughts, exercise, emotions, relationships, social behavior, sleep. So these items is what protects the natural flow of every day. Now, there's a saying that's out there by William James, act as if. This is not about fake it until you make it. Act as if is just simply the thought of what you do makes a difference because it does. So the act as if is smile as if you're happy. Positive thoughts build positive thoughts. These are gestures, emotions, and feelings. So if you're as if you're happy, your body will pick that up, your patients will pick that up, and that just simply builds more positive thoughts and moods. So serotonin alters mood, and mood alters serotonin. So when you're in a good mood, you produce more serotonin. And so if you have a high amount of serotonin, then you're in a better mood. So both of them, your serotonin and mood, they both work together. So what happens is that with the human AI, you start to build this relationship, a better relationship with yourself. Then all of a sudden, you have no more cravings, there's no emotional eating, there's no frustration, and there's no fatigue. So you start to build this level of trust. So when your body sees that you have figured it out and you're following the natural flow of the 4 hormones, there are no more addictions, decrease major health issues. And in some cases, so far for me, for the reason why I'm able to set world records over 4 decades is that I've never had a major health issue because I'm simply following my 4 hormones of what my body wants My body's figured that out. I figured out how to keep up with it. And there's no need for expensive magic pills because most of them do not work. There's no need for self-medication, and you're not tempted by bad choices. So you're just trying to establish this relationship of trust between yourself and your body. And then your body realizes that trust is there. And so these issues start to go away. So I feel strong when I feel strong. This is not just muscle strength. This is physically strong, mentally strong, and emotionally strong. So again, with the relationship with yourself, human AI, attention and intention, you increase the flow of productivity, you increase your decision-making process, you increase your speed of thought, you increase the flow of creativity, you increase the overall value, and this increases the long-term value of simply being healthy. Now, so this natural flow is we got the serotonin lunch, bright lights, exercise, positive thoughts, positive emotions, positive experiences. So why is serotonin so important at lunchtime, and why does your day start at 12? So serotonin builds serotonin. So what happens next is you have serotonin, then when the sun sets, there's an enzyme that gets triggered and the body converts serotonin to melatonin. So the more serotonin you can make at lunchtime, carry it through the afternoon, do your exercises, that protects serotonin. So the more serotonin you make in the afternoon at lunch, the more your body has melatonin. And so we all know what melatonin does. Melatonin helps you get to sleep at night. So now from 7 to 11, this is the most important part when it comes to sleep, is now you have the serotonin, it gets converted to melatonin. And so this melatonin also, it controls the timing of all other hormones. It's a powerful antioxidant, it repairs cellular damage, it protects your DNA, it boosts your immune system, and it protects your circadian rhythm. So now it's up to you as you move through the day from about 9:30 to 10:30 or whenever you go to bed. You also have to protect your sleep. And this is where the personal hygiene comes in, where you get ready for bed. You don't want to do any type of phone calls too close to bed. Really don't want to text. You don't want to have heavy conversations at this time. Because as you bring in these heavy conversations, and if you're trying to take care of the important social issues or work issues or anything right before you go to bed, this will actually decrease serotonin, decrease melatonin, and it starts to increase cortisol. So increasing your cortisol levels right before you go to bed is not a wise choice. So that's why you don't want to do heavy conversations. If something is important that needs to be addressed, you wait, talk about it, mention it, wait for it for the conversation in the morning when cortisol can help the conversation. So right now, this isn't the best time to have these heavy conversations. No computers, no tablets, no TV. Basically, is you're trying to decrease the blue light. And the reason why you're trying to decrease blue light is the sun gives off blue light. So if you're in front of some type of electronics that's giving off blue light, then your body thinks it's simply the sun. And so the blue light from the sun is what triggers your day. It triggers the recent release of cortisol, and it triggers the movement from serotonin. So when you have blue light right before you go to bed, it's really confusing for the body and it doesn't know what to do. So your human AI also continues through a natural flow of sleep. You have a couple of stages of sleep and cycles. So you have deep sleep, there's 4 stages. You cycle through those stages 4 to 5 times, and you have 2 phases of sleep. So the 2 phases, repair and prepare. So repair is human growth hormone. Human growth hormone is the 4th hormone of the relay. And your body is going to naturally release human growth hormone from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. So human growth hormone will stimulate growth and repair, protein production, cellular growth, cellular recycling, human development, and human growth. So your human growth hormone from 11 to 2 in my opinion, is probably the most important hormone of the four hormones that your body's going to go through for the day, because this is where the cortisol, serotonin is what gets you through the productive part of the day, but the human growth hormone is what repairs you to set up for the next day. It repairs you from what you did during the day, and then it prepares you for the next part of the day. So now from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., the hormonal part of your relay is finished, but your body is not finished doing what it needs to do. So from 2 a.m. to about 6 a.m., this is when your body starts to prepare for the next day. And this is where the learning takes place, and this is where memory gets filed away. So during this REM sleep is whatever happened, whatever caught your attention through the day, that created a short-term memory, but during the REM process of sleep, that short-term memory gets converted to long-term memory. Obviously, that's very important for learning. So if you're not getting the best sleep, not getting the best growth hormone between that 11 to 2, then you're also not going to get the best return on your rapid eye movement REM sleep. So this is where you convert newly acquired knowledge, skills, and it gets converted into long-term memory. So your sleep, somewhere between, and this is where a lot of people get confused with sleep, is that they think they're going to just simply fall asleep at 11 o'clock and sleep all the way to 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. That's not how it works. You have two phases, the repair human growth, the prepare REM, but as you move through the two phases, you're going to wake up somewhere along the line at about 2 o'clock, and you're going to wake up again somewhere between like 4 to 10 times. Waking up during the sleep while you sleep is a natural process, but a lot of people fight it. They don't understand that it's a natural process, that you're going to wake up 4 to 10 times. So what happens is they bring the user error back into the equation. So if and when you wake up, do not engage with waking up. Don't pick up the phone. Don't check the clock. Don't chase the remaining time of sleep. Don't false start your day. Because if you're putting too much mental energy into the fact of you're awake and you're not asleep, that will then trigger your body to wake up. It'll false start your day, and all of a sudden your body's going to start gearing up for that initial release of cortisol, the CAR. You don't want that to happen at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, or 5 o'clock. Is stay away from the user error. When you wake up, you're going to wake up, relax, allow yourself to go back to sleep. So the 100% of your human AI is sleep is dictated by your daily activity of what you eat, what you do, and how you think. So this is why the physical performance of that either 4 to 6 window or 5 to 7 is that the higher physical activity that you have in that afternoon, the deeper sleep you're gonna get from that physical activity. So if your physical activity is non-existent or very low, you're gonna get none or very little deep sleep. So that's why it's important to do some type of physical activity at the back end of your serotonin. So that way you protect the serotonin, you actually increase a little bit of the serotonin, and then you have more melatonin. So your high physical activity later in the afternoon, above the sleep horizon line, the higher you can get it above that line, the lower and better you're going to deep sleep, and it goes down. So that's why it's so important to exercise and exercise in the afternoon, as your body is wanting you to do that. Because typically what happens at one part of the day, the opposite happens 12 hours later during your sleep. So if you have high physical activity, you're going to sleep deeply. So life happens 24 hours at a time. So if you have a strong 8 hours of sleep, this is going to build a better 16 hours of being awake. And if you have a stronger 16 hours of being awake, this is going to build a better 8 hours of sleep. So how you go through your day determines how well you sleep. How well you sleep determines how you're going to do through the day. So this is why your day starts at lunch. So when you wake up from a better night of sleep, good morning. You're going to have no sleep inertia. It's going to be easier to get out of bed. You're not going to have any fatigue, and there's going to be less frustration. So you're just trying to be repaired and prepared. So as soon as your feet hit the floor, you're ready to go. So human AI, attention and intention. High performance is the new skill. High performance becomes the standard. So to recap this natural flow, it's good morning cortisol. Cortisol is actually a superhero. It is very good for you only in the morning. And once its release is finished at lunchtime, you have to let cortisol go, make the space for serotonin lunch. That's where it's what you eat, what you do, how you think, becomes who you are, and the physical activity helps. So now what happens is that as you go through your sleep's going to go from, let's say, 78%, 79%, 80%, 81%. So you're just going to get this continuous 1% increase on your overall being healthy, your well-being. So it's not going to, if you just do this for one day, it doesn't fix everything. It takes a little bit of time for all this to fall into place. So that way, when you sleep, you protect your sleep, your body then learns how to stay asleep. So instead of waking up 10 times a night, you may only wake up, let's say, 4 times a night. So human AI is just simply attention for what you're doing, how you're moving through the day, and then you can provide better intentions to your patients, staff, whatever you're doing through the day, social behavior, relationships with everyone else. It just gets down to attention and being very intentional with what you want to accomplish. So, thank you.